Okay, good day everyone, and congratulations to all of us again on this third anniversary, many successful years to come. Well, since you don't know what I'm going to be doing, so I'm going to be doing some stand-up comedy for you guys. I know it's difficult to believe, but even for myself, I find it difficult to believe because this is the first time ever I do it, especially with my flat face. So I know what you're thinking. So in the course of my life, I met many people who told me that I have to smile more. Believe me, this, what you're seeing now, is an improvement. Really. So I felt kind of ashamed that, am I too grumpy, that people have to tell me I have to smile more? But I tried, I really tried. And now I like, smile 5% of the time. So, I'm maybe in the next years I will improve even more. So it's nice to be in this place. Forgive me for all the S's. Sounded like a bit like I'm a snake or something. But it is nice to be in this place. But I want to say that it's you get to interact with multiple cultures, and it's interesting. And the thing is, it's difficult to tell jokes in a multicultural setting because anything can be offending to someone. Like in my culture, we have a saying that a boy grows with attributes of his uncles. And now I believe that because all of my uncles are bald with bellies. All of them. They could have been anything. They could have been super rich. They could have had high metabolism. They could have been geniuses. But no, bald with bellies. It's like, this is what they've chosen. Just give us a couple of that and we'll be on our way. Thank you very much. The thing is that the belly part is somehow manageable. You just need to eat lettuce and work out for the rest of your life and you'll be fine. But what really I cannot tolerate is the baldness. This is why I have to reset every now and then. You can see that just suddenly I appear in the office when I do. Shining like a lamp. So this is why I have to do it. I know a few friends who also do the same. They shave their heads, but they do it themselves at home. So just thinking about it gives me the chills. Because imagine I was standing in front of a mirror. Look. This is being a razor, not a comb. And from the back of my head where I can't see. And then just put on a nice white shirt with a few blood stains, go to the office. That would be very safe. Another cultural aspect. This is a bit strange. I don't know if you paid attention to it, but every group of people, they have a certain way of talking. Like, this is only them who sound like that. I personally refer to it as the melody of speech. I think all of you, you interacted with multiple Arabic nationalities. And I don't know if you've paid attention to this, but to give you an example, like Egyptians, they sound more like da-da-da-da, da-da. It's like, they're stuck in a QA session forever. Lebanese are more outgoing people. It's like more pleasant to listen to them. So they sound like it's like they're singing while talking. But we Jordanians just go like da 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 da. It's like you won't get any of this. It's just flat, like da 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 da. So this is how it goes with this. Since we're here in the office space, maybe I'll share something from our professional lives. Particularly, I want to talk about recruitment. So, we get some calls from recruiters from time to time. They ask you all the questions. Some of the questions are inconvenient, actually, especially this, what's your minimum expected salary? I don't like this question. Because it's like, why are we talking about minimums all of a sudden? Like maybe, okay, this is my minimum expected salary, and by the way, this is my minimum effort, along with it. But also what the questions that I don't like as well, even more, is what is your current salary? I really don't like to answer this question because it gives an idea about your income and, it's kind of private, your lifestyle. Even ethically, from a professional point of view, it gives an idea about the salary scale of your employer. which you're not supposed to expose. So this is why I try not to answer it at all. I don't care like what happens, no problem. So one time this recruiter called me and he asked all the questions. Tell me briefly about yourself. I'm stupid. All the questions. Until he reached the king of all the questions. What is your current salary? I told him, sorry, I will not share this information with you. So, can you guess what he responded? The worst thing he could have said. He said, it's mandatory. What? What do you mean mandatory? Like, what are you going to do? So then I unleashed my imagination. I imagined that he would just hang out with me and call the police. He'd be like, help, help, there's this guy, he's not paying me his salary. Then police car comes in and like, wait, they take me handcuffs. I'll be in jail for this of my life. Or even maybe they have a contract with the mafia. So they call someone, they come and abduct me, put me in some dungeon somewhere, and they start torturing me like, wow, you're not paying your salary. And you know, my life just turns awful from me. So, yeah, sometimes we get a lot of that. We have to deal with it one way or another. I grew up in a small town on the outskirts of Amman, the capital of Jordan. And it's like a very cozy place, a lot of nature. We used to enjoy going up the trees and picking up fruits. And the people were so kind and very warm-hearted community. But I think they had one problem. That is how to deal with New Year's Eve. The thing is, back then, I'm talking about 28 to 30 years ago. So back then, the utilization of fireworks wasn't so common. So people celebrated with weapons instead. And they say weapons, not guns, because some of the things were really scary. Like there was this guy on some hilltop, I'm sure that he had one of these cartoonish looking cannons that you just push like, and then you do this thing, matchstick, and you know, big sound, big light, everything, so everyone then follows on that. Even like our neighbor was like a policeman, he's supposed to be against this, but also he would go on the balcony, pistol, and then you know, another guy, because you know, people are just now showing their arsenal, so the other guy goes out with a bigger gun, like automatic rifle or something, change the setting, another guy from somewhere else throws a couple of hand grenades, like tear gas or something. So for me, as a 7 years old guy, 7 years old kid, that sounded like the new war, not the new year. So yeah, we got a lot of that. It was kind of strange for me, but we kids also celebrated similarly in a stupid way. We used to get these very tiny explosives. We used them for pranks and stuff. So we just put them inside a tomato and then I'm 36 now and I still can't understand what was the logic behind that.
I used to do spark plugs.
Yes, Yusuf understands. So I guess we all watch movies. It's part of our lives. I think everyone watches movies. I don't want to assume that someone doesn't watch movies. There are really great movies out there. I think I'll be generous in saying maybe 50% of the movies are great. Maybe some of them are uncriticizable. But there's this 50% that there's something about it. You know, you just cannot disregard such comments. Speaking particularly about Hollywood, there's this thing about these movies that they create moments. Like you jump from one moment to another, but there's a little gap between these moments. So one movie that comes to my mind is Armageddon. I don't know if you watched it. It's from the 90s. One of the big movies, was a big hit. Okay, just a quick recap for if someone doesn't know. So Armageddon, there's this giant asteroid, meteor, whatever you want to call it. It's heading towards planet Earth, and it's going to collide with it and cause the apocalypse. So, well, starring Bruce Willis, they send a team of diggers, oil diggers, and astronauts to this object, and the mission is to dig a hole inside and plant a nuclear bomb, so it explodes and it splits it in two pieces that goes in separate directions, and they save the world. So this is the big plot of the movie. So when they reach that point, something happens that they cannot detonate the bomb remotely. Someone has to go down with it and detonates it manually. And of course, Bruce Willis is the guy who does it. So he goes down, he detonates the bomb, and he saves the world. And that's it. The last 5 to 7 minutes, it's totally different. It's like, you know, these two young couples who are in love, they get married in a nice romantic chapel, and we completely forgot about what happened. Okay, let me get back. This guy blew himself with a nuclear bomb inside a piece of rock on outer space. And this is insane, you know, this is not something like, okay, sometime somebody gonna do that. No one is gonna do that at all, you know? So this guy did it was insane. And then it completely shifts your psychology from that feeling to the feeling of, oh, it's so nice, and you know, it's very romantic and everything. So I find it a bit strange how in such movies they make this shift for the viewers. I think Bollywood is a bit more honest with their audiences because from the beginning, just make it clear for you, like, you know, this is all imagination, it's not gonna happen, don't relate it to your real life, it's never gonna happen, not in a million years. And you just live with that. You watch the thing and, you know, you enjoy it, then you move on with your life. So I kind of respect Bollywood for that direction. You know, by the way, this might sound strange. Sometimes when I'm on an airplane, I don't watch anything on my own screen, but I just catch the fellow passenger watching some Bollywood movie. And for some reason, I just keep watching. There's connection, there's like, it's entertaining. I can't hear anything. I don't know what it's about, but I just keep watching. So, you know, it's strange how you can make a connection with a movie that way. But I would say, for example, if Armageddon was a Bollywood movie, probably like, you know, the main guy would fly to outer space, and you know, he's divine strong, he will punch the thing, and it will split in two pieces, and he flies back to Earth, you know, because he's a movie star. Surely he has such, you know, divine capabilities. It makes sense, you know, but so he flies back to Earth, the great hero he is, and he directly goes to meet his beloved, because, you know, not only that he saved the whole world, but he saved her also. So that is much more important. So he goes to meet with her, and he starts singing her song, she sings back, and they start dancing, you know, and everyone knows the moves for this dance, even someone just passing by the shooting side, oh, a song, then he starts dancing. So, you know, there's a connection. And then you know, as I said at the beginning, it's like, you know that this is something you cannot relate to your realistic life, and you just enjoy the show and move on with your life. If it's an Arabic movie, I can't. You know, I can't just, it's all like, why? Because, and that's it, you know, it's just, you just cannot really build stuff like that. I cannot take. You know, Bollywood movies are like, maybe, if I'd say Indian movies, were very popular in Jordan, even till now, for many, many years. And especially for the ladies, because of all the dancing and fashion, etc. I remember my mother was a big fan of Indian movies. She didn't speak Hindi, but she memorized the lyrics from the songs. And I remember when I was like 4 years old, she used to sing these songs for me. And I remember it was quite confusing because I would be, like, she would be trying to make me have my lunch or something. It's like, yalla habibi, yalla yalla. And then suddenly she goes into, Ma'areka najar. And then it was like, what? Like, just a second ago, I could understand what she's saying, but now I have no idea. So, you know, childhood, gotta leave something in you. Thank you very much. That's all.